process that he has to struggle with now.
Okay, stop.
And that's why he's paying.
Right there.
That's
Right
why he's
there.
paying.
Right there.
Hold on.
Right there. No, right there.
Wait, just wait.
Right there. He struggled
Dude,
with that idea.
Okay, well, hold on.
Naruto Uzumaki struggled with that idea, which means that what's up, you guys? Welcome to the Council of the Six Paths. My name is Mark. This is Aaron, and we are the Council. Yes, so today we're gonna be talking about some goofy stuff. The funniest, sorry, not the funniest, the dumbest, which in turn sometimes can be the funniest, but the dumbest shinobi in Naruto. Even if it's not like they're the dumbest, person walking, but they've done something so dumb, it's like, bruh, how did you do that? So that's what we're gonna be getting into. My dude got the PJs on, Naruto PJs.
Let y'all know we're dedicated. Don't mean to cut you off. Look,
oh, you did.
We got the 6 a.m. today to make sure we got this video, made it happen. You know what I'm saying? So I've got my coffee. You know what I'm saying? And we're here.
Let's get it done. All right, so we're gonna be going straight into it. This was his idea, so I'm gonna let him start it off. Who is on your paper there? One of the dumbest shinobi. Oh yeah.
All right. We don't need this apparently until a little bit later. So we will have the coin flip just to let you guys know, but it's more so during the little death match deals. Now, the dumbest thing that happened, period, in Naruto. I would say dumbest moment, the biggest slip up, the biggest oversight, however you want to put it, has to be none other than Jiraiya Sensei. It's my dog. But he has to be a plumb idiot. 100%. Why? Let me go ahead and make my point just to make this quick. I know I'm long-winded. YouTube. But I do love you. I do love you. Let's go. Kaka Sensei. Kaka Senpai. Alright, anyway. So, this guy.
That shirt's dope.
I know it is.
It is dope.
I know it. I would claim merch, but I can't sell this. I did buy this somewhere, but I can't tell y'all where, you know what I'm saying? Because we ain't promoting it. No, anyway. He runs into the Rinnegan. Uh-oh. He trains the Rinnegan user. And how to use all sorts of jutsus. Hung out with the clique. These kids love this dude. What? They wanted to go with him. Okay? He understood what he was dealing with when he saw the eye. He was like, oh my goodness, what's really going on? Okay. You tell me that, you say, hey y'all, I'm gonna go ahead and let y'all kick it here by yourself. You know what I'm saying? I done taught y'all how to fend for yourself. I showed you how to make peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Yeah. Anyway. What? Now. At the same time, he's also hanging out with, Tsunade, Orochimaru, all these guys, you know what I'm saying? You telling me that he doesn't take the information back to the Leaf to tell them anything about what he saw, who he hung out with, who he trained? Nothing? Nothing? The Rinnegan. Bruh. Talk to your cousin. Okay, I'd have been like, look, you want some Jordans? Okay, we'd have been at the mall immediately. Would you need a new coat, bro? You want some chicken? Here, you can get half my plate. What? They coming back to the village with me? Talk to me about it. Come on, man. What? The Leaf would have shut it down from that point on. There's no discussion. You got the nine-tailed fox. Okay, you already got the strongest Leaf. Shinobi basically, and now you got the Rinnegan. Okay. Who just happens to be a Uzumaki, okay? What? I'm over it. I'm good. I'm good. That's mine.
So, I don't agree. And this isn't supposed to be one of those videos. I'm supposed to just, go with the flow. I just tap my mic. I'm supposed to go with the flow. But I can't take away a lot of his credit. Number one, the reason why he left them there is because he knew that they had a bigger purpose than just coming to the Leaf and, hanging out with everyone. That was their village. They needed to kind of, let me talk to Aaron. They needed to kind of bring a different light to the place that they were in. And when he trained him, he not only showed them how to defend themselves, but taught them a way of life to make them change the environment they were in, the atmosphere they were in. So I think that him leaving them there may not have been what's best for necessarily him or the village, but it was part of his plan in order to bring peace to the shinobi world.
Okay, now let me rebut that right quick, okay? I'm not talking about necessarily for him, the Leaf Village. I'm talking about ramifications of the ninja world. I'm talking about the understanding that child of prophecy. My village, if I was a part of the Leaf Village, the way that I would feel about it, if I want him steered in the right direction, if I want to make sure that that holds on, I'm not going to spend a couple months with him and train him on some jutsus. I'm going to take him back to the village and let that influence hit him. Anything could happen because you're leaving them as a child to influence their mind towards destruction. What happened? Exactly that. Was that necessary? No, it wasn't. Because Jiraiya's thought process, Nagato didn't come to a full conclusion until he meets Naruto. He has an epiphany. It's like, he's talking that truth. Everything this man's saying is that truth. And I lost my way. Why? Because my master wasn't there. Let's talk about it. You left children. What? Come on now. With all this power, he doesn't even mentally know how to truly understand anguish. Why do I say that? Whenever he saw it happen to his parents, broke him. He freaks out then, wakes up, little buddy's gone. What happens later on? His best friend got to throw himself on his kunai. It's just sheer, just madness. Bloodlust. I am marking any and everything that shuts it down. You know, we talked about this the other day. Summons the ghetto, Mezzo, impalement. He doesn't give a as long as everybody dies. Meaning, this child isn't mentally prepared to handle any of this kind of stuff. I blame that on Jiraiya. Because if you're going to take them in, if you're going to be that for them, then be that for them. Take them with you. Continue to be their master, or take them back to the Leaf and find somebody who can properly lead them in the ways that they need to, and then implore that outward. Why? Because you now have the God stake. Sharingan, Rinnegan, Byakugan, Kyobi, all is in-house. And I believe that the Leaf Village has the mental state to enact that in the proper way under third Hokage, somebody like Naruto, somebody like Kakashi, somebody like Tsunade. Now, Danzo rose to power happened to hold another side, but I'm good.
I think you made some good points on that, though, because of him not being, mentally prepared for the worst case scenario kind of thing. But I feel like everyone does that, though. Like, if it comes down to like something really tragic happening, people do those things whenever they're heartbroken. Sometimes they just lose it.
Okay.
Now, let me get to my point. Let you go on for 10 minutes. So, I think that saying that he, left them without really being, prepared, you could be right. But there's a way that you're right, and there's a way that I don't think it should have went the way you mentioned. Number one, you said it would have been better for the Leaf that they would have had basically the trilogy, what you're saying, which is fine, because at the end of the day, that really would strengthen the Leaf Village. But on the other end, if he wowed out at the Leaf Village, then guess what? It would have been like him bringing a tail beast to the village. So let me get to my point. So I think that just because he would have brought him to the Leaf Village doesn't mean it would have just been like, oh, rainbows and sunshine. No, he could have literally lost it there and and took out the whole village, regardless. But I think that just saying that him being part of the Leaf, I think that whenever you have multiple pieces with your same philosophy on life in different areas, you are able to do things that you wouldn't do under just one place. For example, United States, we try to put our way of living in different places, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of times, if someone doesn't, if someone's doing something, we will go and put our power to, to show, hey, this is what we should be doing, blah, blah, blah. You should do it this way. Whatever the case may be. We try to, enforce some stuff or try to prevent stuff from happening. But if instead of it was just the United States, because the United States already has a bad connotation, if instead of the United States, if this kind of philosophy was sprinkled, not saying democracy, but like some positive way of thinking, I'm not saying we do have that. I'm just saying if there was some, Jiraiya Sensei was sprinkling his philosophy to all these different places, and then it spreads from there, that doesn't get the same reaction as someone who's like trying to force their ways onto everyone from this one place. But if they're able to see it, oh, these people are doing it, these people are doing it, this person's saying some really good stuff, he's actually changing my mind, and I like this place, I like this village because he's from my village, or whatever the case may be. It's a different situation. So I think him being in his own village to actually spread whatever philosophy, which Yahiko was doing, and the reason why they took him out was because he was doing well. They were doing so well that somebody had to manipulate Hanzo in order to get them to stop the Akatsuki from doing great things. So what Jiraiya did was amazing, because what they were doing, what the original Akatsuki was doing, was amazing. Okay. So I don't want to say that he was the dumbest because of that. I think that, yes, he had the opportunity to bring them back to the village, but I don't think that that should classify him as the dumbest, because what he did and the results that stemmed after, as far as their philosophy was concerned, it was, you couldn't have written that better. Like, It was solid.
Okay, now, I'll give you credit on that. Because, yes, the philosophy that they carried forward was that of Jiraiya's until the tragedy happened. When you're in a time of war, where you don't take the most powerful anomaly in the Naruto verse that is an orphan. No more than 8, 9 years old. They were little bitty kids at this time. Maybe 10 was Yahiko, because he was the oldest. Okay, Nagato's youngest, and leave them in that situation to carry on what you believe. What? That's an insane thought process. Because yes, these children have power in a sense. But at that age, they can get mud stomped by any ninja that comes around. At that age, anybody can come up, offer them food, and take care of them from that point whenever they're sitting out here cold and still starving, trying to take care of themselves and sway them in any direction that they want to over time. You know what I'm saying? Just calming them and taking care of them, but really just feeding them, working your game. There's people in Naruto who are masters at that. There's a lot of chances for this to slip into the wrong hands. Or something happen that can affect that negatively, just to protect it in a sense. Now, I'm not saying that Sharingan, Byakugan, Rinnegan, Nine Tails, the Leaf is the greatest. The Leaf is the most powerful. Let's take it back to the Leaf because we got all this. That's not what I'm saying. I don't care about that. Okay, yeah, that's an automatic monopoly. Yeah, that comes with the territory. But what would the Leaf Village be able to? How would that influence the world even more? Because they already do it. What would that stave off? It would have staved off the whole Pain invasion, the whole Pain arc. It would have gave Jiraiya the chance to truly sink in to his student in his role as delivering the chosen one to the ninja world in a proper mindset. He should have protected that. The frog told him, this is what it is. And you gonna tell me this is your moment and you understand it and it's this child? And you let that go on about his business to fend for itself with no true way of fending for itself except for a couple things that you just taught it? On base level, that's wrong. Oh, dang it, gone. I mean, to me, that is the moment that changes everything. The character that's in that book could have came to fruition instead of becoming the monster that he became. Instead of coming back and blowing up your whole entire village. and killing you. Huh? You have to fall, the apple has to fall real far from the tree whenever you kill your master, the one whose ways that you're trying to follow. How skewed is that picture now?
Alright, so those are some good takes. You mentioned they were young and he left them there alone. A lot of times, you can influence someone at a young age and that stuff stays within you your entire life. So I can't just say, oh, he left little children there to fend for themselves. He taught them how to fish. He taught them how to fight. He taught them jutsus. He taught them what it means to be loved by someone. And that right there was something that they could have never gotten if they were just orphans. They could have fallen into the wrong hands, or they could have ran into Orochimaru or Tsunade and been taken out. So just the sheer fact that he did that was amazing, because that's going to influence them in a way that they're going to remember for the rest of their lives. Nagato's way of thinking could have happened whenever after Yahiko died. Could have happened even if you went to the Leaf. Just because you go to a certain place and your environment is different doesn't mean that you're going to completely change how you feel about somebody or your core outrage when it happens. For example, he could have went to the Leaf, stayed there for 10 years, went out there on a mission, you know what I'm saying, everything was smooth, and then somebody comes into the Leaf Village, takes out both, I'm about to say Ren, both Yahiko and, how you say her name? Something, whatever. Taking out both of them. And guess what? The same rage could have happened. He could have literally flipped out on the spot, boom, and blew up the Leaf Village, taking innocent lives from the actual Leaf Village with that ghetto statue. Like, it's so much he could have still done if he would have came back to the Leaf and learned their ways and all that good stuff. Once Naruto saw Hinata get impaled with that final one, he flipped out, and he's from the Leaf Village, and he loves the people in the village. He loves his friends. So that could have happened no matter if he'd have brought them back or let them go. And then at the end of the day, guess what? All of that worked out beautifully, because Nagato had this way of thinking that changed the way Naruto felt about his enemies, which is something that only happened because of Jiraiya Sensei. He implanted in him this peace, this idea of peace. Nagato's like, if I can't get peace by the way Yahiko wanted to do it, I'm going to do it by fear. I'm going to do it by power. So guess what? He was still trying to get peace. The issue is that he just was influenced by a situation that could have happened to anybody. We always talk, not we, but the community always talks about Naruto could have literally went evil because of the way he was brought up. So just because Nagato did that and he wasn't in the Leaf Village, another point, he is not the Leafs to keep. He is a person of the mist, the rain. He's a citizen of the Rain Village. You can't just go to people's villages and take their people. Like, I get what you're saying. Yes, it's cool and all, but you belong here. This is your home. You protect it. You create something, which he actually did. He took over the Rain Village by himself. Nagato, by himself, took over the Rain Village and basically created a peace there. The only issue that he was doing was power and pain and fear. But he was able to, people actually loved them, to be honest. They were scared, but they also kind of loved them. They were talking about the angel and all of this stuff. So, I mean, just because he didn't go to Leaf Village, because he didn't, keep watch over him for a longer period of time, doesn't mean Jiraiya is the dumbest. I think that his ideas was so solid that it influenced them to create a group that was not there before. And they were able to starting to create a piece that Jiraiya Sensei wanted to manifest. So that's my take on it.
Okay, now
let me ask you a question.
If Nagato would have went to the Leaf Village and had been there for 10 years, kept away from Danzo, which I'm pretty sure being under Jiraiya, that's going to happen because that falls with a lot of Pyrrhus, but the influence of the people that he had around him, the teachings, the bonds, the heart that he's already got, the way to heal it, the person that he would become after 10 years just being a citizen of the Leaf. if something happened to Yahiko in that moment, yeah, that's his best friend. But just like Naruto, if something happened in the Leaf Village, whenever it comes to one of his partners, the last thing that he's gonna do is Hulk out. He might do what he have to do. He might hurt. He might go through pain. But after 10 years, he's gonna understand what that is. He's gonna understand the measure of it. After 10 years of being around Jiraiya, just the outlook that he would have gotten that time frame would have been different. I don't think that now I have to say I don't think, but just judging off of his personality, he was nowhere near an evil kid. The closest that he could have come, I think, to doing something like that would be maybe he had a nightmare of whenever his parents died and sees a flash of the Leaf Village headband. But then even that wound could have been healed over time with the expression and talking to him and trying to guide him, which I think they would have showed the utmost attention to, considering that he has the Rinnegan. You know, the Leaf Village has a way of talk no jutsu. Their ways are, different than the other villages. Other villages are, a little bit rougher around the edges, more forefront than what the Hidden Leaf is. Regardless, at the end of the day, Jiraiya's job was to guide Nagato and Naruto in a proper way. The influence of Naruto, it would have been the same, because he wouldn't have got a chance to be Naruto. They would have went through all the stuff that they went through, blah, 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 what have you. But just the chain reaction of events that takes place from him leaving those kids I don't see somebody making the decision during a wartime. It's not like he's kidnapping them from the Rain Village, their parents are dead. They have no parents. They have nobody. Talk about starving orphans during all that war. Now, you're not kidnapping them. You're saving them. They want to go with you. They're asking, they're begging, they're following you around. You sit them down and explain to them why they can't go and all this other kind of stuff, and they crying and all this other kind of stuff, and you leave them, and then they find their way. To me, to leave a child who you have taken in under your wing, who is now relying on you, and to realize that this person is supposed to be the savior of the ninja world, and you don't direct his hand even close to maturity. You leave somebody who doesn't have the mental aptitude to understand the way things truly move as an adult. Get your hand out your cookie jar. I ain't got no cookie daddy, and you got chocolate on the side of your mouth. Come on, pimpin'. Come on now.
Yeah.
I just don't feel it.
All right, so this is the last rebut, because I go last.
I think it was us.
All right, so just a couple things. Number one, I think that if it would have been smart, because the point is that he was a dumbass, right? If he would have been smart, he would have killed them right then and there. If you're going from smart to dumb. The reason why is because it was obviously a common thought process to kill these orphans, because Tsunade and Orochimaru both said, let's take them out. Both of them. So one of three had a heart. You know what I'm saying? So it's common. So I make that point because I make that point for a bigger point. You're saying to bring him back to the Leaf Village. I don't think there were many people brought from other villages to the Leaf around that time, especially when during wartime. So to say, oh, let's just bring some children who could potentially try to infiltrate and do some assassinations, which Jiraiya had no idea of. That is still a possibility. So saying that, oh, you can just bring him back doesn't mean that the Hokage is going to say okay, doesn't mean that the feudal lords are going to say okay, the elders. It's a possibility that they may say no. So because, like I said, because the common knowledge is that we should have killed these kids on the battlefield. So saying that, oh, we could have just brought them back to Leaf, it may not have been as simple as that. So that's point number one. Number two, you're calling him the dumbest when that whole thing that happened needed to happen for Naruto to become the child of prophecy. Because Naruto was always the child of prophecy. It wasn't Nagato. But Nagato was someone who needed to influence Naruto. Because at that time, Naruto would have the amount of pain he caused Naruto, he would have wanted to kill whoever this person
exactly
is. So my whole point is that calling him the dumbest when his actions literally created the child of prophecy. All those actions did that. Whatever was supposed to happen looks like it happened. And I can't call him the dumbest when what he did, what he put into the heart of Nagato to spill out to Naruto, for the outcome to happen, for Naruto and Kurama to be like, I want to kill you, but you make a lot of sense. If I kill you, what's gonna stop the pain from reoccurring by someone else? I kill you, she comes back later on, kills me, or kills somebody I love. So I don't think he's the dumbest. I think that, and it's not saying that, your points are wrong. It's just your perspective versus my perspective. And that's all it is. Like, at the end of the day, I think you made your points. You made them solid enough. But I think that it's just one of those things. We disagree on it, and that's fine. We didn't come to this battlefield to agree on everything. You see it your way, I see it my way. I see what you mean, and I'm cool with the way you think.
I kind of think
I just disagree.
I kind of think you see the way I mean.
At the end of the day, you bring the Rinnegan back home, you have a whole lot of things you could have prevented. But sometimes, but sometimes it's not about preventing things. Sometimes it's about letting them play out, letting the people become who they're going to be. Because really, you can't do that with your kids. Hey, my kid, I'm going to keep you in my house for the next 20 years because I don't want you to be influenced by something incorrectly and turn into something that I don't want you to turn into.
Okay, that's a Shannon Sharp. But he just Shannon Sharp me, y'all. Okay, and I was gonna let it go. But I say this: one, no. If you talk to a toad sage, the sage, who tells you this, you don't go and kill the child of prophecy. That would be what? Okay, now that I see you're the child of prophecy, I'm sure the toad did not mean, bruh, your job in this is to go murk this child who's supposed to be.
What are you talking about?
Huh?
What are you talking about?
Because the smart thing to do.
Not because of that.
Well, just period.
No, because the common thought process was
I know that.
I know that. I'm not saying that it would have been smart as far as the child of prophecy, but as the point of the village.
I know that.
And how villages work.
Okay, look, I know that. That's the way villages work. But not all the villagers and everybody with them went and trained and had a toad sage tell them that. Jiraiya had that information in his head.
Right.
Okay, so
if your point is that.
My point is that if I'm Jiraiya, it would be dumb, even if that is the way the world is right now, to kill the child that you were prophesying. Okay.
That's obvious. That part. I'm not saying that it was smart to kill him because you're killing a child of prophecy. I'm talking about 3 orphans from the mist. Or from the rain.
This isn't just 3 orphans from the rain. This is the child of prophecy in the Rinnegan.
But in that case, why wouldn't you follow the people? I'm not talking about that. Because at the end of the day, the child of prophecy is the child of prophecy. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day. So him training them, I don't think what he did was dumb. I think what he did was smart. I'm saying that if you're saying that he would have brought her back to the leaf, who's to say that would have actually happened? Yeah, he would have given a good word for him, but Tsunade and Orochimaru was both like, yo, let's kill him. So how do we know? If they think that way, we know Danzo probably thinks that way, which means the feudal lords will probably see it his way also. So just saying, oh, just bring him back to the leaf. I know the third probably wouldn't have thought that way, but the third would have probably still been like, I don't know if we can let him in because it's still too much of a risk during war times. So I don't think, just saying that, oh, we should have brought him back to the... I don't think that it would have necessarily happened. It's simply... I can't say it would, but I'm saying if it's common knowledge to kill these orphans...
Jiraiya came back to the village after the amount of time that he was gone and spent with those children, knew exactly what they've been through the whole 9 yards. This is his report. And on top of that, they've been under his care. He's their master now. And they have the Rinnegan. No village is about to turn this child away. That's got, even if they're using it for demented reasons and won't lock him up using to their benefit, no village is about to turn an 8-year-old child that has the Rinnegan.
Right. They may kill him instead. Because guess what?
It depends on where he goes.
Guess what?
The leaf would.
Guess what?
I don't think the leaf
Guess would. What? The leaf would have killed Boruto. So saying that they wouldn't have killed Nagato is not valid.
What do you mean the leaf would have killed Boruto?
They would have killed Boruto because he was a significant threat. Naruto took him to the mountaintop to kill him. That's why he was up there. And then your boy came in there with the serum to slow it down. So saying that, oh, the leaf wouldn't have killed him, this is Naruto we're talking about.
Naruto wasn't going to kill him.
He was going to kill his own son.
No, he wasn't. He took him up there, and he had it. It's the fact that this is what is the thought process that he has to struggle with now.
Okay, stop.
And that's why he's paying.
Right there.
That's
right
why he's
there.
paying.
Right there.
Hold on.
Right there. No, right there.
Wait, just wait.
Right there. He struggled with that idea.
Okay, well, hold on.
Naruto Uzumaki struggled with that idea, which means that the third Ray Kage is not Naruto. No. He's not as compassionate as Naruto.
That's not what I'm talking about.
The Danzo not as passionate as Naruto.
That's not a fair
The
comparison.
Feudal Lords are not as compassionate as Naruto.
That's not a fair
so
comparison.
that means that they would have probably not struggled with that decision.
Okay, now.
So because he is an actual imminent threat, Nagato, with the actual Sage of Six Paths eyes, he becomes someone who, I'm not saying that this would happen. I'm saying that just saying, oh, he should have brought him back to the leaf.
I'm saying that you can't use that as
they may not have seen it that way.
Well,
also,
that's
my point.
Maybe so, but now
so
let's do it like this. Let's do it like this. And this is my last point. Nagato, one, was a nice kid. He was not some kid who's going to go in showing them any sort of danger. He's going in there real shy, humble, and timid, loving Jiraiya. Okay, one, two. It's not the same. This is why I said you can't make that an analogy. They want to take Boruto out because Boruto has Momoshiki living inside of him, which is an Otsutsuki who wants to destroy them. Okay, now the difference is Momoshiki possesses Boruto's body and Boruto's not there anymore. He's asleep. It's not that somebody's mad or he's freaking out or something like that. It's that there's a creature in him who can possess his body, take over, and do damage, and that's what they need to get rid of, and that's what they're talking about. That's nowhere near the same as, oh, we've got the renegade here with somebody who just happens to love his master, who's from the leaf, who's saving him to bring him somewhere to try to be taken care of. Two totally different scenarios. You can't use that.
Who you believe loves his master, who you believe is there as an innocent kid, who you believe has no other intentions of infiltrating and destroying. They can't take that chance. It's a possibility that they can't take that chance. That's my own point. It's not about how he goes in there and how he presents himself. It's the risk that he still poses.
They've got Naruto in the village and they treat him like crap. They bring Kawaki back to the village. He's outside.
That's in Boruto, not during that time. Naruto is way different than the third.
Okay. Then the third Hokage?
Yeah. Tell me who all did they bring to the village during that time? From other villages. From other lands.
Well, I mean, for real, back in the day, you know, you would have to say the Uzumakis lived outside of the Leaf Village because they didn't want to live in it.
No.
Yeah.
That was during the time that they were trying to form the village and bring as much people to that. So they weren't part of the land of the rain. They weren't part of or the village in the rain. They weren't part of those things. My point is that they weren't going to other villages and bringing people back. That wasn't a normal thing. So I can't just say
I don't know. I'd have to go back and research to see if anybody else from any other village.
The reason why
he's not from the Leaf Village. He's from outside the Leaf Village.
No, Kushina is not from the Leaf Village.
They
brought her over because they wanted
Naruto.
Either way it goes. Hold on. So he had a different headband on?
The Namakazes?
So what village did he come from as far as land? What land did he come from?
Because I don't think he came from the Leaf.
So this is my point.
I don't think he was born in the Leaf.
Well, Kushina wasn't born in the Leaf.
So they were talking about multiple people that came in.
Right, but they went out to get her specifically. She was an Uzumaki who they could use to put the Nine Tails inside of. Like, there were points that were made for the stuff that they were doing. My point is that saying...
What bigger point do you have than this child has the Rinnegan? There's no bigger point than that in the whole entire show.
I'm saying that he's a big risk still. So saying that, oh, he could have just brought him... Your point was he could have brought him back to the village. I'm saying that just saying that he could have brought her back to the village doesn't mean that it would have worked out that way.
Even if it's keep your enemies close, the last thing that you do is let the Rinnegan run around free to come back as your enemy like it did. And what did it cost?
It could have done that regardless.
And what did it cost?
the best situation ever.
Ultimately,
actual
yes.
full piece.
But it also
and then everybody who died came back to life.
That's a different. That was Naruto. But it caused
still Naruto.
It caused your
Naruto had the power.
Your throat to get crushed, you to get murdered, and your entire village blown up.
Bro, literally at the end of the day,
the impact from it.
The end of the day, I get it. Naruto being in the village could have influenced them better.
I get your point.
I get it.
I get your point too.
You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, it's agree to disagree. That's all it is. You know what I'm saying?
Sorry, I got a little heated there.
You know
but I love some of this. You know what I mean?
Hey, I'm passionate about it, and really, it's not even just about the characters. It's about the logic. You know what I'm saying? The passion that we have right there is not, oh, we're passionate about Naruto. It's the logic behind the decision that people are making, because that's really what you're living with. It's, is this the best decision? And I just don't think he was the dumbest for making that decision. What do you think? You think he's still the dumbest?
I still say, I mean, he's not the dumbest. I didn't mean for it to come off like he's the dumbest, but I think he had the most, monumental misstep in the entire show.
Gotcha.
I'm a father.
I mean,
if I came at it from that angle, there's just if the scale does it literally breaks on the side of I need to keep him with me.
So
even if he didn't have the Renegade, I would probably took him with me just to take care of him.
What we're gonna do is this. This video is not a lighthearted video, so this is going to be a discussion. We appreciate you guys for watching.
Thank you.
If you guys enjoyed the video, go ahead and hit that like button. If you want to stay a while, watch some more content, subscribe, and you know what? Make sure you come back on Friday so you can vote for who has the best drawing.
Hang out with us for a little while.
Peace.